Bilal from Pacific Workers here, and today I want to talk about a question I get all the time, and that's should I settle my medical out or keep my case open? And ultimately, it depends on your situation. In workers' comp, there's two types of settlements. One's a compromise and release, which is generally a lump sum settlement where the insurance company buys out your medical. The other type of settlement is known as a stipulated award, which generally is a periodic payment of permanent disability, and you keep your medical care open. And you can keep your medical open as long as the doctors feel as though there's medical treatment that's associated with your injury that you need on an ongoing basis. And so really it's a situation where it depends on how valuable the medical is versus closing it out, and quite frankly, how much the insurance company is willing to offer to buy it out. If they want to offer you $5 to close out your medical and you need surgery, maybe it's not worth it. If they want to offer you $200,000 to buy out your medical and all you need is some over-the-counter Tylenol, you probably want to take that money, right? Because ultimately you can use that money for whatever you want. It doesn't have to go towards medical. Maybe you can put some aside in case you need it in the future, but you can use it for a kid's college fund, a down payment on a house, even a crazy weekend in Vegas if that's what you want to do. Ultimately, if you have a static condition and it's an expensive medical treatment, say in-home nursing, I have several paraplegic clients and quadriplegic clients, it's not disputed that they're going to need in-home nursing for the rest of their life. That's very expensive. And we don't know what the future holds. And so ultimately, even if you get money now, that may not be enough to pay for that type of care in the future. And for them, the medical care is invaluable. And so they've kept their medical care open. But ultimately, it depends on your situation, where you're at in life, how much is being offered, whether you're confident that your medical needs are going to be met if you're handling that on your own, if you have access to insurance or otherwise means of reducing your medical costs in the future. These are all things that you should take into account when you're thinking about whether or not you want to take a lump sum settlement and close out your medical versus keeping it open. The one caveat that's very important to consider is that if you keep your medical open, that means you have to deal with the insurance adjuster and the insurance company for a very long time, if not indefinitely. And ultimately, that means you still have to deal with the processes of utilization review and IMR, which are the really crappy appeals and utilization review authorization process that we have in workers' compensation. And so ultimately, even if you need medical treatment, it doesn't mean you're always going to get it. And so sometimes that impacts people's decisions about whether or not they want to keep their medical open. Either way, it's all things considered. If you don't have a lawyer and you want to run things by someone, I highly recommend you talk to Information and Assistance at the Work Comp Appeals Board. If you do have a lawyer, that's a big conversation you want to have with them. If you don't have a lawyer and you want a lawyer, give us a call.